Bye.
Alrighty, Jonesy. I don't know about you, mate, but I've been waiting a while for this.
Mate, so have I. Actually, what exactly are we waiting for?
Because we have one of the lads on the show.
Of course.
I'm so excited. We have this man, for all of you punters out there, this man should be sponsored by Golden Circle because he's the king of juice. Macca, how you going, mate?
Mate, really good. Tropical's the favourite, but mate, it's a pleasure to be here. I really enjoy this time.
Punters, this is an absolute gift for all of you because this man is the king of juice.
Mate, he knows how to find some juice. Golden Circle, I love it.
He loves it. He loves it out there. All right, enough of that. Actually, before we jump in, we have a Jonesy and a Macca. This is the most Australian punk club in Australia.
Yeah, all we need is a Robbo or something like that.
Yeah, we Davo.
Big Davo.
Davo would be good. Yeah, we have a few goodies. Anyway, all right, let's get stuck in, boys, as we usually do. Horses that caught our eye. Jonesy, take us away.
Mate, ran in race 3 in Caulfield on the weekend. Saracen Knight. Ooh. I like the sound of that from Mac. Absolutely stormed home in the last 200 metres after being held up on the straight. It's actually side by Camelot.
Yes, I remember you telling me
Russia.
that on the weekend.
To be honest, I didn't really have that much of a big look at Caulfield on the weekend. So, yeah, I didn't have too much of a look at that particular race, but chucked a little each way on just before it ran and didn't even get to watch it. And one of our mates, Milne, let me know that it won, and I was like, oh,
Gee,
that's all right.
That could also almost be a fine for this podcast because it wasn't declared on the podcast.
No,
so
it wasn't. So, yeah, I take full responsibility for that.
I would hope so. All right, Macca.
Mate, I had the first one, Saracen Knight as well.
Bang.
Mate, it was a ripper.
Yeah.
I don't know how it won. I had to watch the replay to kind of find out how exactly it won. So, mate, hell of a run.
Came from a very long way back, didn't it?
From the clouds.
Yes, didn't it? All right, who else, mate?
Love Tap. It ran in race 4 in Rose Hill. It never looked in trouble at all.
Spanked him.
Absolutely spanked him. I think it'll feature in some black type races in the future. A nice grey colour as well. So,
love
Love
grey.
Tap for me.
You love a grey.
I love a grey.
All right, Jones. Macca even.
Yeah, I had Rock My Wand, race 7 in Melbourne. Came up against Instant Celebrity.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so at the bend, I thought this thing was gone. Like, absolutely cooked. And it was the first time it's really had a good go on a nice deck. And,
Okay.
And it stormed home for third.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with it, and it still had some ground to make up. So definitely one to watch for the future, I think.
All right. I like it. Mate, he's bringing something to the table early, which I like to hear.
Mate, there's already some juice.
Mate,
I can feel it in me waters.
Because Instant Celebrity, mate, it's like a $3 favourite for the 1,000 guineas. He's taking it on already. I love
Hates it. Absolutely hates it.
I love it. Anyone else, mate?
Mate, positive piece for me. It was in race 8 in Rose Hill. Ran 4th. Held up at about the 200 metre mark, but the last 100 metres was very impressive. Last prep won like 4 or 5 in a row or something like that.
You love that thing, don't you?
I do. I didn't back it on the weekend though. Standard. I think that was that the race that subpoenaed? Subpoenaed?
Yeah.
One?
Yeah, I think so.
So there you go. That's another one for me.
Shout out to the 2 Mugs punting. Give them a follow.
Yeah, those
if you
boys
don't.
really get around it, don't they?
Mate, they
love it.
They love Subpoenaed, but it's a non-winner, even though it defied the odds.
All odds. How good. I had Nudge as my last one in Sydney. I thought it was a super run. Third last on the fence with 400 to go. And came home for a respectable 6th. But it didn't get the nice run. Scarlet Dream was in that race as well. Came down the outside, had the better of the 2, and got in for 4th. So both one to follow, I think.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, great shout at Scarlet Dream actually.
Yeah. No, she but as her profile usually suggests, her best runs are fresh, and she hasn't won for about 2 years or so. No thanks. Cool. Any others, boys?
Honourable mention for me to She's Ideal. So I picked it on the weekend in Sydney. Middle of the pack finish, but closing sectionals were really strong. So definitely forgive next run and see where it's racing, I reckon.
Beautiful. Alrighty. I think that will do us there. All right, boys. Polo Recipients. Jonesy, kick us off with your bottom. How do we do it?
We
top
usually
tier.
start with the top, but if
Top.
you want to change it up.
Sorry, I just had a brain bleed just then. Your top tier. Kick us
Mate,
off.
I'm going to go with Tommy Berry. He had 2 cracking rides on the weekend.
Great shout.
As aforementioned, subpoenaed. It was a terrific run. And Ollie Kirk as well in the Golden Rose. I thought he ran it super. So Tommy Berry for mine. Not going to give him the fabled Navy, but
Mate, he just lifts them this time of year, doesn't he?
he does. He's in great form, so good to see.
Yeah. His first Group 1 win was in the Golden Rose, actually.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7 years ago or something like that. Yeah.
So
It go Tommy Berry. Oh, hallelujah.
Macca?
Top tier for me was Pippi. Friday night. at Mule.
Ooh, yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was one of those races where I saw it and it panned out exactly how I saw it. You know? It's a rarity.
It is a rarity. It is.
But how good. Jumped from 4, got the lead, and I thought as soon as it got the lead, it was game over, to be honest. Trekking
Yeah.
gave it a good nudge, and I thought that was something to watch. Trekking, that was huge.
Yeah. Well,
Trekking was huge.
Everest spot now. So that should tell the story. But yeah, mate, she absolutely flies fresh, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, boys, middle tier.
For me, this is a real Back to the Future type polo. And I'm gonna give it to Wayne Bennett, who's just been named to take over as Origin coach.
Oh, has he? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he has. Oh, I don't know if it's been formally announced, but there's huge speculation, and I think it's been all but confirmed. But shout out Wayno, taking over the mighty Queensland Maroons for Origin. So yeah, it's a real Back to the Future type polo, which I couldn't give it a top or a bottom, so I'm just going to give it like a middle.
Yeah, I don't even know what colour that would be, but
It's good,
Mate.
mate. It's not bad.
he had a good week, didn't he? Souths beating the Roosters by 52. Wasn't that a towel up?
A real strong week.
Shout out Brad, Roosters supporter. Yeah, wow. Mac,
Sticking with the horses, I had Wild Ruler first up.
thank you.
Yep. I thought it was super.
Yeah.
And first up, I'm looking forward to see where it goes next. I was going to ask you, is it going to the Coolmore? Do you know its target?
I'm not 100% sure, actually, but I think the Coolmore looks pretty like a nice race for him.
Yeah, because I was kind of looking at futures for it, and $13 at the moment. It's not a bad price.
Yeah, there wasn't a hell of a lot for him in the futures markets, but I think, the Coolmore would be his ultimate target, but he'd have to go up against
Yeah, he's going to get some good comp.
an Anders or something like that. So, but
I was impressed with it.
I
First
was-
up run, very good.
yeah, he's been up against Libertini, Nature Strip in the trials. He's been holding his own there, so that form's been franked. Will Libertini feature later on in the program? Ooh, stay tuned. Alrighty, boys, who's looking awful? Who's in a bottom tier? Who's looking like a pile of shit?
Dip, dog shit. I've actually seen Macca's, which is hilarious because I agree with it wholeheartedly. But I'm gonna give the bottom tier polo to Broken Legs because they're shocking, aren't they? It was really sad to see Rothfire pull up injured in the Golden Rose on the weekend. For good reason too. I don't know what bone, I can't remember, but he's fractured his leg. He's had surgery, which has been successful, thank God. Look, it could be quite some time until we see him back on the track, and look, he might not be what he was, but at least he's okay.
Yeah, he looks. That was shocking luck. Shocking. You saw it in the run. About 200 from home, he shifted out. He never does that. He hasn't done that in any of the starts I've seen. So, yeah, fingers crossed for him. Doubt we'll see the best of him.
It's a real shame.
He's a good animal though, so he's done well so far.
Yeah.
Bottom tier for me, Masked Crusader. Mate, oh my God. This thing is a genuine flop.
It's a real flaccid type.
Mate, cat. Absolute cat.
$1.55 it jumped at.
I know.
And it ran like that.
No, trust me, mate. I know.
One of yours too?
Oh, far out. I made it best of the day at, in Sydney last week.
Oh,
Went like a busted.
yeah. Well, I wrote down genuine two-toned polo with the biggest horse you can get. That is what it's receiving, and it's a never again for me, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's 3 starts, sub $2 that he's had, and he's been all the favourite each time, obviously, and lost all 3 of them.
Yeah, but look, there's a few horses that have been average, right? And then they come back and then they're at a price, and there's one this weekend that I'm sure we're going to talk about, but they're just so hard to avoid. If he gets out to $5-6, I just can't see myself not having a bet on him. But yeah, he's got some definite cat behaviour. Righty. Nice work, boys. I think you've more or less covered everything there. So let's get stuck into the preview of the Randwick card with the first race of the card, 1600 metre benchmark 88 handicap. What are your thoughts, Jonesy?
Look, there's 2 clear favourites in this, but I'm going to go with number 5, Opacity. Should be rock hard for this, I think. It was great. Had a great 200 metres, last 200 metres of its last start. Obviously ran second to the number 2 Discharged. But I really liked what I saw from Opacity, and I think this really suits third up. So I'm going to have it on top. And yeah, the obvious danger being number 2 Discharged.
Mate, 3 kilo swing on it too, and it only went down by how much? 1.5 lengths. So yeah, I think I've got it on top as well.
Fair.
Yeah, so I've got Bet You Flying down the bottom.
Yeah, of course you went outside.
I really have a soft spot for it. I think I've backed it every start in its last prep. The only reason I did like Discharge, I really did, but Bet You Flying 2 starts ago came up against Discharge, and Bet You was 1.5 kilos lighter, and this weekend goes out with 6.5 kilos lighter, and it only lost by a length.
That's what you love to hear.
And at juicy prices of $9, I'm willing to play at that.
Of course you
love
are.
to see it.
Oh my goodness, this is exactly what we wanted. All right, righty. So, how are you boys at maiden races, and especially for the 2-year-olds going off trials, because that's what we got on offer for the next 2.
Yeah, well, we had a chat about this during the week, and for these type races, obviously you follow the market. So if there's some late money for something, that's generally a pretty decent indicator. Apart from that, especially when you're doing the form as I was doing on a Wednesday night, just go to the trainer jockey combo, I reckon.
Yeah.
So. With that in mind, I'm going to go with the number 4, Enthar. So I think that's J-Mac and
Kieran Maher, David Eustace.
Maher and Eustace stable. They've got a 30% strike rate as a trainer jockey combo.
Jeez.
That's not bad. Plus Enthar won its trial by 5 lengths. So
useful.
Yeah, look, it's paying sub $2 at the moment, so won't be giving it a whack, but I think it'll win.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, took the words out of my mouth. I had that on top too. It's probably not going to be a race, and I'm going to have a good player. No. But yeah, same thing. 4.8 lengths. J-Mac on board. I think they really want this to kick off with a win.
Yeah. You know what else is a nice recipe? Trainer jockey combination is Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott, and Timmy Clark. The bottom weight, number 13, Vaccine. I remember Darren Flindell had one of the great calls in this trial, and he said something like, "This is the only vaccine that will actually get through," or something. So
the only vaccine we'll witness in 2020.
Yeah, so won its trial nicely by half a length. Why not? It's $12. Might have a small play at that price, but anything could win this.
Yeah, well, like we said, if the money comes in for it.
Yeah. Who knows, mate? Who knows? All right.
Not me.
So that was the fillies. On to the Colts and Geldings. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, same thought process. Happy to go J-Mac again on the Waller thing, the number 12, Shakiro. Had a great trial for the Waller stable up here on the Gold Coast. So, Yeah, I think he's paying something decent at the moment, around the sort of $8 mark maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, so happy to have it on top at that price.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I kind of had the same thoughts as the last start. Favourite in the race won its trial by 5 lengths. I can't remember what it's called though, because I didn't pick it. The only thing I didn't pick it for was because Huey Bowman's on board.
Oh,
And I really don't like him.
Kalashnikov.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that is. Yeah,
That-
won by 5. You know, great
Yeah.
trial, but Bowman's turned me off.
Yeah.
He really has. I'm off him. So what I have done, I've gone construct. Snowden runner, there's 3 of them. Gone for this one. Came a nice second in its trial. Tommy Barron's on board. $6 price tag, and pretty keen about it. It looks like a good horse.
Bang. Mate, can't talk you out of that. I've gone the Hugh Bowman ridden. Of
course you have.
Kalashnikov. Just based off...
I'm pretty sure I've drank a vodka called that before. It's like real $20 type and Dan Murphy's.
Yeah, Uncle Dan.
An Uncle Dan special.
But listen to the Snowdens on radio either today or yesterday or whenever it was, and they gave a massive push for this thing. So
Yeah, right, okay.
yeah. Look, 260, probably not that keen to play, but it's on my on-top selection. Beautiful. Alrighty, now we're getting into some of the juice in the program, some of the meat of the sandwich. Alrighty, race 4, the Hill Stakes over 2,000 metres, Group 2, weight for age. Kick us off, Jonesy.
It's a pretty tough race. Obviously, very elegant, and Finch have been scratched from it as they're racing down in Melbourne in the Turnbull, which we'll talk about later, punters. Thought it was really interesting to see Chris Waller take Holding out of the Epsom, which is later on in the card, and put it into this race. The query for mine, obviously, for him is going from the 1,600 up to the 2,000 metres, but I have a massive soft spot for Colding, and he's in red-hot form, so I'm happy to have him on top. I think it's between him and Fierce Impact. Fierce Impact has won at the distance before, unlike Colding. So
Yeah, that was a while ago, though.
yeah. So look, I've got Colding on top. Will I be playing big in this race? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you, mate. I got the winner coming in the top 3 in the market. You know, Fierce Impact, Holding, or Avilius, and I've got Avilius on top. I don't think Holding sees out at 2,000. That's me personally. Fierce Impact, obviously, great winner, Mackay Diva. Could easily do it again, but I don't know. There's something about Avilius, I think. Third up, I think he's going to be fit. I don't know. Bowman's on board, so I'm worried. But my only concern is I hope he doesn't get trapped, but it's not a massive field, so I think he'd be all right come down the outside. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, I'll round us out for the top 3, boys. I've got one of my favourites, Fierce Impact, on top. One thing that the trainer, Matty Smith, says is last prep they kept him at the distance, and they've stood him up from 1,600 to 2,000 here, and he said when they keep him at the distance, he can just be a bit flat. So, yeah, I think step up to 2,000. This is basically a trial for the Cox Plate, I reckon, because if they want to go that way, they will definitely get a run. So, yeah, I reckon he's the horse to beat. He always draws well, this horse.
Yeah, he does. One of those horses. It was
Yeah.
like Redzel in his prime. He never drew a bad barrier. It was insane.
So, yeah, I reckon, between those 3, but happy for us to go outside of each other. Alrighty. Ooh, all right, we're going to skip the flight stakes. Bear with us, punters. We're going to skip whatever that one is. Sorry, what's the first leg of the quaddie? Group 2. Beautiful. The Premier Stakes.
Premier Stakes.
Oh, yes.
Some genuine pace in this.
There is a bit of pace in this. Alrighty. Jonesy, kick us off.
Yeah, well, look, got 2 Everest-bound horses in this race. Nature Strip and Classique Legend. NS let a fair few punters down last start. Obviously, he wasn't disappointing. He just let a few punters down because everyone thought he'd be rock hard and ready to go based on his trials. And then since that race, he's had a bit of barrier trouble in trials. But You know what? I'm happy to forgive. Happy to forgive that and just forget about that. I think NS is too good of a horse. If he gets out in front, like I expect he will from that barrier, I don't think he'll be too troubled. Classic's the obvious danger, but yeah, happy to have NS on top. Will I be playing at that price? No, thank you.
J-Mac?
Yeah, mate, completely agree. I had Classic on Legend, Classic Legend on top, only because of the price that it was. I can't play at Nature at that price. But in saying that, I'm not going to play big on this one. I think it's definitely out of those two, and regardless, it's going to be pretty sure for the quaddie. But yeah,
Yeah, I think you take 3 in this quaddie. The 1, the 2, and the 8. Libertini as well. Just because she's been trialling really nicely, and trials do not tell the whole story. She trials up a bomb each time. She hasn't won for an age, but she's the one that can win at a bit of a price.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to Brad about Libertinis today because we're trying to sort of speculate who'd fill up the last 2 slots for the Everest. And I suggested Libertini wouldn't be a bad shout.
Yeah, well, yeah, last 2 slots. No, I've forgot what I was going to say. That's all right. I have Classic Legend on top here, and I'm actually against NS. I think he's up to his old tricks.
He's a naughty boy.
But he hasn't been a naughty boy for about 18 months.
True.
And I can forgive him running 4th first up, running 2nd first up, whatever, when he puts in. I can't remember him doing that in trials. So I don't know. Is something going amiss with him? I don't know. So yeah, cannot jump in at the $1.80. Much rather the $3.20 for Classique. Yeah, I think he can get the chockies for me. I'm actually keen to have a go at him. So
the only thing about Nature Strip this time I'm worried about, he did it last prep. He bombed it first up and then came out and just took the other horses to the field last start. So
is that the TJ?
Yeah. I think he had one more. The TJ was 3rd up. So
right,
peaks. His peak run is 3rd up. He did it in the TJ and in the Darley down the straight last year. So he's not there yet. He's not.
So by that logic, he'll be rock hard for the Everest.
Mate, I hope he gets rolled here so you get a better price for the Everest.
Yup.
So that I'm thinking about the future, boys. I'm thinking. Alrighty, so let's skip the Epsom and the Metropolitan, yawn, and
isn't it just?
And let's get into the Get Out Stakes, boys. A benchmark 88 handicap, 1,200 metres for 3-year-olds and up. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, look, 2 Godolphin favourites in this. You got number 4, Hilo, and number 6, A Theory. Both had terrific runs last start. Obviously, A Theory wins the first time I don't back it for ages, standard. I'm going to take him on, though, and I'm going to take him on with the number 8, Burning Crown. Its form actually reads really well for this, and its trainer, Sue Grills, she's a Tamworth trainer, and she's aiming for a berth in the Kosciuszko for it. So I think he'll be ready to rock and roll for this, and look at the price. I think he's about $9 at the moment. I'm willing to find out, and I think you boys will both agree with me when I say that both Hilo and A Theory can have cat-like tendencies. So
yes,
yeah, definitely. But in saying that, I've got Hilo on top. It came second to Fatous last start, who I think's a pretty classy animal, and. Yeah, I just think the weight advantage is going to get Hilo over the line. There's Handle the Truth in the race too. I think it's carrying 60. I don't know if there's a claim for it. I think Tommy Sherry's on.
3 kilos.
Yeah, so it's going to be 60 kilos, and I think Fatous is going out with 56.5. I think that's going to get it over the line, and I can honestly see a Godolphin Quinella. That's me. I wouldn't mind Burning Crown to get in for the quaddie, but yeah.
Yeah, nothing much more to add there. Mac, Hilo on top. Fatous form, good form. Righty, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the features. And welcome back. Thanks for listening.
hello.
Alrighty, so boys, flight stakes first up. And as I do with you, Jonesy, and Mackie, you get to witness this as well, but I bring stats to the table. Alrighty. I didn't know this. This is actually pretty interesting. But the flight stakes is the 4th leg of the Princess Series.
It is.
And the overall winning filly of the series, which I believe has to be Dame Giselle because she's won each leg so far, will earn a free nomination to a stallion of their choice at Darley Stallions.
Oh.
So, yeah, lucky girl.
Yeah. Jeez, it's like an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it really is. So the four legs are the Silver Shadow, which, Dame Giselle won. Furious Stakes, Dame Giselle. T-Rose, Dame Giselle. So she's going for the quadrant of them, the quaddie even. 2 fillies have won it previously. So she wouldn't be... I thought she'd be the first, but yeah, good on her. The winner is exempt from the Doncaster Mile. So, but just thinking back, don't know if any fillies have won the Doncaster recent. Oh, Natoya won it. She was a mare. Anyway. Interstate lead-up runs have had minimal success. The last winner was 1986.
Right, okay.
So, past winners, Elise, More Joyous, Sunline, and last year, Fun Star.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, a bit of a fall from grace, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Alrighty. So the Flight Stakes, Jonesy, how do you see it unfolding, mate?
Look, Dame Giselle will get an easy lead. It should lead well. And because it's such a small field, I don't think the wide barriers will have any issues getting into a spot that they like. I think Vangelic will be just behind Dame Giselle and then Hungry Heart a little bit behind that. I've got number 2, Hungry Heart on top. Going back to the well with her, I backed her last start. She chased Dame Giselle home really well on the weekend, and same with their last start, or actually 2 weekends ago, but you know what I mean. And I think the Randwick Mile looks really suitable for her. I think she wants further, so happy to have her on top.
Yeah, I think it was Thermosphere that kept her in a pocket for about 100 metres in the straight, and that lost her the race.
It did, yeah. So, yeah, I think she's actually favourite only just over Dame Giselle, and I can't argue with that. I think this is more suited. Dame Giselle looks to be one of those horses that wants further and further. Seems to sort of reach out. It's got that really long stride, whereas I think Dame Giselle's more of a... Actually, I just say Dame Giselle, Hungry Heart, my bad. Whereas I think Dame Giselle is an out-and-out sort of get to the front and try and control the race. Yeah. So that's how I see it playing out.
Mac?
Mate, exactly the same. I had Hungry Heart on top. They've stepped it up where they go 1,200 first start against each other, then the 14, and now the 16. Hungry Heart's lost by half a head both races. I think the 1,600 is going to suit Hungry Heart very well. I think it's going to be too good for him.
Yeah.
I can see Dame just getting beaten. I think it's going to get done in the last 50. But yeah, I got the 2 on top.
Yeah, no, I've rounded out, boys. I've got Hungry Heart on top as well. This has been her target all along.
Yep.
Waller gets him fit for a grand final.
Doesn't he just?
Yeah. Don't really have much more to add. Alrighty, my trifecta for the race is Hungry Heart on top. I'm actually going to say that Dame is going to get... I've been offered the entire prep.
Yeah, you really have.
I'm going to say she's going to fade at about the 100. So Hungry Heart to win, Montefilia to run second, my Oaks horse, and Dame Giselle to run in third.
Okay. I've got Hungry Heart on top, Dame in second, then I've got Vangelic running in third. But great shout with Montefilia.
Yeah, mate, I had the same as you, Hutch, but I had Monty for third.
Go Monty.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Beautiful. I reckon, yeah, boys, this is the race of the day for mine.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
The Epsom. So how many runners do we have here? Yep, just the 20. Crikey, where do you start?
Oh, geez, it's absolutely stacked. That's what I'll say. And it's funny, I saw the barrier draws, as both of you boys would have during the week, and you're just like, oh, a lot of the things that you probably had on top have drawn really wide. But I don't think that's too big of an issue in fields this big, especially handicap races. I don't think the wider barriers are that much of a disadvantage. And for that reason, I've got number 11, Probabile, on top. Her pattern, she tends to get back a bit anyway, and then storm home late. So she's drawn barrier 18, but I think she'll just sort of sit in sort of the back pocket and hopefully sort of storm home late. She'll need some luck, obviously, but she was so impressive last start and had best sectionals of the day when she last raced. So happy to have her on top. We'll be keeping an eye on number 6 Brandenburg and number 9 Wild Planet though. They've both drawn really well and have every opportunity in this race, and both of them are starting to find some good form. So
drawn well, and there's not a stack of speed in this race.
There's not, no.
They'll sit on speed. They'll be, I reckon Brandenburg, he will be mighty hard to chase down. Mac?
Mate, you've gone all the ones that I've got. I've had Brandenburg, Probabile, what was the other one you said?
Wild Planet.
Wild Planet, and I even had Riadini in there. So I've got Brandenburg on top. Like you guys have pointed out, it's going to get a nice run. I think Wild Planet's going to get in front of it. And I'm hoping that Brandenburg can jump on the back of it, get into the straight and just go bang. I was impressed with Young Prince over the 1600 against Mr. Seawolf. I just, don't think it's going to get there. It's good enough. Star of the Seas, favourite. It's doing awesome at the moment. Deserves a Group 1.
Yeah.
Just can't get there. And I think it's going to be terrible from barrier 1.
Yeah.
It's going to have no chance from there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll get trapped in barrier 1. And if it was a leader, I'd say something different, but it's not.
Yeah. Before I give my tips, I'm just going to give you the stats I've written down because I forgot. The race has been going since 1865.
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy.
Hectic. 21 of the last 33 winners have been 4-year-olds. Pretty hectic. Only 2 mares have won since 1976, one of those being Winks.
Yeah, she doesn't count at all.
So,
no, Probabile's a mare.
I know. And yeah, with that in consideration, I've got Probabile on top as well. So I just can't get off her despite the barrier. So like the 2 I really liked for this race have both drawn together in Parramatta. So in Imaging and Probabile. So shocking draws, but hopefully they, the breaks come for them and they get the chockies. I feel like big fields generate pace anyway. So
yeah, I think so. And like I said, I wouldn't be too concerned with the wide barrier, especially with Probabile.
I've just had a look at the odds, and I saw this girl was at a bit of a price, but she's actually drifted out again. When's the last time you saw a Doncaster winner at $61 in Natoya? That is a huge price.
There is some... the first 4, mark my words, in this race will pay a fortune.
Okay. All right.
I won't pick it,
mate,
but it'll pay a fortune.
I believe you. All righty, boys. My trifecta... I have Probabile on top. I'm going to stick with Imaging. I think it's just been luckless this prep. Maybe there would be a double negative with the barrier. The bad luck will just cancel itself out and he'll get there. J-Muck on board as well. And I've got, this was a real flip of the coin for me. I've got Reloaded into 3rd, giving him another chance. He was pretty plain, but he gets out to the 1600 here. Which I think he's after. And it was between him and Vanagirl, but I've just gone Reloaded.
Yeah,
in
fair.
front of him.
Really, really keen to see how Vanagirl goes. Queenslander?
Yep.
Isn't she? Yeah. Keen to see how she goes. I've got Probabile on top as well. I've got Wild Planet running 2nd and Brandenburg running 3rd for the reasons I mentioned. I think they should get peachy runs and hopefully find the line.
Yeah, I've got Brandenburg on top. With Probabile running into 2nd and then Riadini to sneak into 3rd place for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's 2 of them done, boys. I can't believe this race is a Group 1, to be honest. It is just so boring, the Metropolitan. 2,400 metre handicap. I've looked through. This race has been running since 1863. I could not find any winners that I knew. Maybe it's because I'm not a massive history student.
You're not a historian of racing, are you?
No, but when you think about it, the really good horses are going for the Caulfield Cup over this distance. They're preparing for the Melbourne Cup. this wouldn't be on their radar. So this is really a Group 3, Group 2 race at best. Anyway, first run in 1863, so it's time-honoured. It's been around for ages. Winner receives $500,000 if they take out the Rosehill Gold Cup. Any other runner receives $100,000 if they win the Rosehill Gold Cup. So, yeah, you're really just looking at those provincial horses wanting to get some more prize money. You're exempt from the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. The winning weights from the past decade have been from 50.5 kilos to 56. And the last mare to win was in the year 2000. Only 3 winners since 2003 have come off a non-New South Wales lead-up run. So, with all that into consideration, lads, what did you think?
Well, I think that I agree with you. This race is a yawn. Look, Mugatoo looks really hard to beat, the number 2, which is interesting. It's actually, I think it's above 56 kilos, like you just mentioned then. So
57.
Yeah, so he'd be the first winner in a decade over 56 kilos of wins. Look, it's had a hat trick of wins this prep, and it was really dominant in the Newcastle Cup. And that form has been franked by Taiko Mochi.
Yep.
Who won a few weeks ago, and Mugatoo beat it twice this prep. So it looks really hard to beat. But I'm really, really keen on number 18, Zabrowski, as well. Looks due for a big run. Its prep so far has been okay without being fantastic. It ran second in the Australian Derby this year, which is obviously another Group 1 and also another 2,400 metre race. And we all know that obviously the Hawke stable likes to get things ready to rock and roll for Group 1. So I've got Mugatoo on top, but and I apologise for this, punters, I could change to Zabrowski. Still thinking about it, but that's my Quinella at least.
It's that type of race.
Yeah, mate, I the same as you, Mugatoo on top. It won the Newcastle Cup, looked pretty comfortably in the end of it, and it's only going an extra 100 metres, I think it is. So I think it's going to come over late, tiring horses. My only danger, I thought, was Rondinella. I thought it ran super the other week, got home for 5th or 6th, and I think the extra metres is only going to help it. Yeah. And there's also Hush Rider, who's probably going to take up the lead. And if it gets caught, I think it's going to get overdone, but yeah.
Yeah, Rondinella, if she drew gate, I'd be keen on her, but she's drawn the car park as well. But she has no weight on her back. Rachel King's a good rider, so she could feature. Mate, I've got Zabrowski on top. Just his only run at the distance. He's, he nearly ran past Quick Thinker on bottomless ground. So, I think he needs to win this if he wants to get into the Caulfield Cup to have any shot at getting in. So I reckon he'll be cherry ripe. The one I don't mind at odds here, punters, is number 11, Cariff.
Mate, not a bad shout at all. Was reading something about that today.
This horse, when it's past 2,000 metres, it's got some ridiculous form lines. It's placed 3 times part, I think it's 2,400 or further. It's Paul Snowden gave a massive push for this horse. Said he has no idea why it's $50, 50 to 1. It is definitely going in the quaddie. I just think, he's back on top of the ground. They've just pretty much been following wet tracks with him. He gets back onto the top of the ground, drawn a nice gate. I think he can just pop his head up with his yellow silks, the So You Think silks, and just give a shiver up a lot of punters' spines.
Man, at the price, wouldn't that be nice?
Who do you have in your try? I'll kick. Sorry, boys. I'll kick us off with our try. So I have Zabrowski on top, Cariff running second, and I have Mugatoo running third.
Yeah, look, Mugatoo on top with Zabrowski running second. Those two could swap. And then I've got Rondinella running a third.
Beauty. Yeah, I got Mugatoo on top, Rondinella second, and Hush Rider to hold on for third.
Yeah. No, Hush Rider, mate. Being on top of the ground will suit that horse. Drawn perfectly will be mighty hard to get past. cannot talk you out of a bet there. Alrighty, so we're done in Sydney, boys. We're done. We're going down to Melbourne for this is one of the races of the day for mine, the Turnbull.
100%, mate.
Have a look at these. So it's been running since 1948. Since 2002, only 2 horses have drawn a double-digit barrier and won. So since 2002, if you've drawn 10 or out,
Yep.
only 2 of them have won since 2002. One of those was Mackay Diva. So you have to be a pretty damn good animal to win if you've not drawn a gate.
She was all right.
6-year-olds have won 6 of the last 10, which is a weird stat. But basically what you want is a battle-hardened,
Proven.
older horse, way for age performer. Previous winners have been Mackay Diva, Winks, Green Moon, Preferment, and last year, Kingswool Dream.
Swept them back that one day. Green Moon.
Green Moon was early last decade, so
Oh, was it not? Sorry,
Yeah.
I must be thinking another moon.
Maybe. Yeah, Green Moon, yeah, it was early 2000s.
yeah,
Wrong one.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Mate, that's fine. Jonesy, how'd you find the race, mate?
Tough race. For me, it's hard to go past VE, number 9. She was a little bit disappointing last up, but she still finished 4th, and obviously her first up race in the Mackay was absolutely fantastic. I think 2,000 metres looks absolutely perfect for her now, and the lower weight's a bonus. I don't think she'll find too much trouble from the back. So I've got VE on top, and I think the price at the moment, close to $5. When was the last time she was about that?
Ages.
A long time. So I'm happy to have her on top.
I say ages, but she was $8 when she won first up, so 2 starts ago.
Oh yeah, first up, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's a few other things I like, but going to have her on top. Surely Finch and Django Freeman lead in this. So I think she will sit sort of mid-pack behind those guys with a couple others maybe around her.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I first looking at the race, I'd be on top. And then the more I dove into it, I just kind of got faded away from it. You know, I've got it in for second, but I've gone with Master of Wine to take this out. I think Henny Rain would be good for VE, obviously very good with a bit of sting out of it. Good deck, doesn't have as good as a record. 2,000 metres is obviously prime for it. Great record over it. Master of Wine, on the other hand, I think it's going to get a nice run, similar to what I was saying before with Brandenburg. It's going to get in the back on something and just come down the straight. I think it's got every chance. The last run was super. I thought it was still coming on. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment. But like you, I'm not confident. They're my top 2, so I'm still deciding.
Yeah. Mate, that is your spot on the money with VE. They've got 27 degrees on Friday and 28 on game day. They could be on a good 3 by the time this race is run. So
she doesn't have the best record in Flemington either, does she?
Well, mate, she hasn't run in Melbourne since the Cox Plate, where she ran nearly last. I don't think her Melbourne leg is as good, but she hasn't. The last time she ran Melbourne Wave going, it was in that Cox Plate. But her last win there was in a Group 3 race. Looks like Phillies back in 2018. So it's been a while. She won some races down there against her own sex and own age, but this is a different kettle of fish here. Yeah. So I found this race difficult as well. There's some different form lines coming in here. You have the Humidor form line, which is now looking okay.
Isn't it just?
So you can bring Surprise Baby in there because he ran beside him, just behind him last start. You have the Very Elegant form, which everything's winning out of that. And then you have the Russian Camelot form. And I think that is the best form here because you can tie in Russian Camelot with Behemoth and all those different horses as well. I think that's just slightly better than the others. That's why I've gone with Master of Wine on top. The good barrier just topped it off for me as well. And again, he needs to win this to get into the Caulfield Cup. So, I think he'll be cherry ripe to go. Stable, has proven for grand finals. Probably not a grand final, but it'll be pretty wound up. I have Surprise Baby running into second. Paul Prushka, his trainer, said he's probably too fit for this.
If that's possible.
So they're confident. They're really confident that he'll run a race. But with Surprise Baby, last time he won a race would have been the Bart Cummings last year. Well, he's only raced, twice since then. But, I don't know. He's really lightly raced that horse, but his ultimate goal is the Melbourne Cup, but he could easily pop up here and win. And I can't have Very Elegant out my top three. I've got Master of Wine on top, Surprise Baby running second, and Very Elegant running third.
Yeah, so fair, mate. Look, I've got VE on top. And interestingly, boys, I actually have Master of Wine running second. I could completely agree with everything you're both saying. And in third place, for me, I have the number 7, King of Allegrance. It's first up here. So, look, it's a tough task, obviously, being first up in such a stacked field. But if you look at its first up form, it's 5 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. The distance it's placed at before, doesn't mind the track. At $14, I reckon that's not a bad shout to run a place.
Mate, you don't need to worry about Danny O'Brien horses being fit. Wherever they go, they're ready to go.
And yeah, look, another horse side by Camelot. Camelot's everywhere. Camelot's like the British Schnitzel.
British Schnitz.
So I had Master of Wine on top with Very Elegant in for second, and I had Dalasan in for third. I think it's going to get a pretty sweet ride, and I'm hoping Jamie Carr can go up the rail with it. I think it's got a good draw. I think it's going to land in a nice position and hopefully hold on.
He's a bit of a nut job, that horse.
He's a bit of a nut job.
But she's the right jockey to ride nut jobs. They don't even know she's on.
Yeah.
She's
a real ghost type.
Yeah.
Real ghastly type.
Alrighty, punters, we're going to take another quick break, but after that, the juicy stakes, this is where Mac is going to flourish.
Medium rare.
Yeah. Huge chat just in the break there, but it'll all come to light in the juicy stakes, boys. Alrighty, let's kick us off. All right, so 7 weeks we've been doing this, and 7 weeks we haven't got a result, but we've raised $70 for Living Legends, and it's going to be even tougher this week because it's going to be a 3-prong multi, but we're going to have $15 on it. Yeah. So hopefully we can get it over the line. If we want some juice this week, this is the week to do it because it's going to be 3 legs. Alrighty, let's kick it off, boys. Who's your best roughie in Sydney?
It's actually in the feature for mine. The Epsom Brandenburg. I think Brandenburg at the moment is a stupid price. $25. Look, obviously I've got probably on top, but might have a sneaky each way at that price.
Mate, that's what I had. Perfect. Brandenburg and the Epsom, $26. It's something that I'm going to have a play at.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
We're drinking from the same juice box, boys.
That's good, that. So it's not my on-top selection, but I have in the Metropolitan, I have Cariff at 40-1 as my best roughie in Sydney.
I'd classify that as a roughie, mate.
Yeah. Mate,
holy shit.
It is a brilliant chance to run to the top 4. We made a case for Scarlet Dream last week, and she snuck her little nose out for 4th. So hopefully Cariff can do the same here because I'll be playing some bloody exotics in that race, I'll tell you. Alrighty, in Melbourne?
Look, there's a lot of value in race 5, I reckon, and the horse that I picked out on top, unfortunately, at the time, he was about $16 or $17, but he's come in to about $11. And for some reason, my page isn't loading. Where is he?
Number 5, race 5.
Race 5. Number 6. Sorry, guys, a pinch of luck. $11 now, but was about $16 when I was looking at it. of its 4 starts, had 2 wins and a second. It's drawn the barrier out wide here, but there's so much unproven form in this race that I think at that price I'm willing to chuck a little each way.
Mate, that I looked over that race and it is bloody tough, but you know what I came back to? Sydney form is good form. The one Thermosphere has way better form than the majority of those, and it's come in from the $6 to $4.80 as on my screen right now. She could be awfully hard to beat in that, but I hope your thing gets up. Mac?
I think I've gone with a horse you've gone in the past couple of weeks of Mildred. Did you go that a couple of weeks ago?
I did.
Yeah. So I've got that in race 2. Obviously, a pretty good horse. Just hasn't shown its potential first up. But last prep, second up, came third to the newly crowned Ollie Kirk. Golden Rose winner of 0.4 of a length, which is great to see. And then third up, 0.6 of a length to Dame Giselle.
That's some serious form lines there, mate.
That is, at the moment, it is.
Yeah.
So at $18 at the moment, I'm
Yeah.
going to have a little launch on that.
Yeah, a little launch.
Little dabble.
Again, mate, we're drinking from the same juice box here because she's my roughie as well. So, look, we'll try and get outside of each other here, punters, but let's go to our best each way in Sydney, Declan.
Hello. Yeah, look, in the Epsom, obviously, probably at the moment, it's about $8. So that's a great each way price for her. And then in the last, the one I mentioned before, number 8, Burning Crown's about $9. So 2 great each way prices, punters.
If you had to choose one in Sydney, who'd you choose?
Oh, give me Probable.
Probable?
Any day of the week.
Beautiful.
I got Bet You Flying in the first. You know, $8 price tag,
Kick us off.
$2.40 place. I think it's going to be a great shout.
Yeah.
I'm all over it for the win, so.
Hey, in the first race of the day,
Yeah.
you don't need to do
Kick
anything
us off
else if that thing gets
real
home.
grand piano like.
I've gone to one of the features as well, so I've got my best roughie and my best each way in the same race. So I've got Zabrowski. I think there's a massive, massive tail to that race. He's one of the better chances. I was thinking about Probable, but half the field could win that. So that's what made me go away. So, yeah, Zabrowski on top. In Melbourne. Now, this is going to be controversial. So, Jonesy.
Oh, I'm going to get shut down massively here, but I can't go past my girl in race 8, number 2, Rubisaki.
Is she still racing around in those blue silks or that purple polo that you gave her the other week?
I was furious with her last week. Absolutely furious. Not last week, a few weeks ago, sorry. But to be fair to her, she prefers Flemington massively. She's been outstanding in all her starts there. I think she's placing the Quinell every time. So, look, I think this is suited to her. And $6 for a win, $2.20 odd for the place.
You might not get that ever again.
Exactly right. So, punters, if you're listening to this tonight, which is a Thursday, she could have already been to bloody $3.50 by then. Have a throw at the stumps.
Crikey, he's
Mate,
confident.
I think you just talked me into it. Mate, very good. I love it. So I've gone Master of Wine in the Turnbull as my best each way.
Beautiful.
As we spoke about before, I think it's going to have a great shout. And $8, $2.70. Yep. Thanks for coming.
Mate, that is a definition of an each way. All right, another 6-pack on the line here, DJ.
In Randwick?
No, in Melbourne.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, mate. You haven't said yours yet. Go on then.
So, my best each way, and I was sold in to Rubisaki, but I talked myself out of her just before because the hard ground is not going to be her go. Flemington, it is going to be a bit better than, say, a Moonee Valley or a Caulfield when it dries out, but 28 degrees, whew, crikey.
She's going to be warm.
She's going to be very warm. And in race 8 of the card, I want something that can handle it and something that has some better form lines. And I think that Behemoth form line is pretty damn good. And one of your favourites, Macca, number 5, Madame Rouge. Madame Rogue?
Rouge?
Madame Rouge. If only I knew how to say it.
I love it.
She'll run a race here, and all she needs to do is beat home Rubisaki, which is a tall order, but she's been crying out for some good luck.
Mate, it's got the silks to do with it too. The wolf.
You love
it's got
those.
the silks.
You love those. Yeah.
So that's the 6-pack on the line.
Yeah, so you got 6 back last week with
Finally.
who
Windstorm on
Buffalo.
on Buffalo River.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great race by Buffalo.
It was.
Really good race.
Yeah. No, he don't sack him. So yeah, Madame Rouge v Rubisaki.
Yeah, I'll take you on. Just a quick one as well, punters. Race 2, number 9, Forever Free. It's another little each way if you want to have a look.
You're going again.
Yeah, sorry guys. I've double dipped. I just really like it, so I thought I'd give it a shout out.
No, that's all right,
Put any
mate.
bars on the line.
Alrighty. Your best of the day in Sydney, mate.
I really like Hungry Heart in the Group 1 against Dame Giselle. I really do.
Yeah, so do I, mate. That goes into all my multis and everything like that. But another one that goes in my multis is Hilo. I think at the end of the day, I think it's the best bet for me. So
Nothing more to add. I had Hilo on top, and it was between her or Hungry Heart. So let's move on.
easy.
Your best in Melbourne.
Tofane, race 4, number 4. She was enormous first up. She's in for a great prep. We'll be in the Everest in a couple of weeks, but I think she'll smoke that field in race 4.
Mate, I'm on the same. I thought it's going to get a good performance here and get ready for the Everest. I think it's $3 or $2.90 or something at the moment, and I think that's a bit of a silly price for it.
So that's your best in
That's
Melbourne?
my best in Melbourne, yeah.
Same.
So I think that
Same.
goes in all my multis and combos.
Same. So what I'm
Combo King.
So what I'm hearing here is that we have Tofane, which we're all on in Melbourne, into Hilo, into Hungry Heart.
Yeah,
Bang. All right.
that
Let's
works.
do it. Yeah.
Do that. I'm all for that.
He's chucking it on now.
Get some juicy odds for that.
He loves it. Alrighty, boys. That's the episode. Macca, thanks for joining us, boy.
Mate,
Big
thanks
boy.
for having us. It's been great. It's
Yeah,
been a pleasure.
Yeah. We'll definitely have you on again, mate. There's been, if your each way gets up in the first, the punters are going to be rejoicing.
Ooh, I hope so.
Jonesy, pleasure as always.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks, Mac. It's been a pleasure. Mac's written a genuine 3-page essay for this in preparation, which is great to see.
Mate, it's more than what I do, so good on him.
Great to see.
Thanks for joining us, punters. We're at that stage now where we'd love some feedback as well. So if you are listening to the pod on Apple Podcasts, swing us a review and a rating. We'd love that as well. But yeah, give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and we're also on YouTube. But until next time, we'll see you next week.
All the best, guys.